There is postseason excitement back in Miami with the Heat returning to the playoffs on a beautiful 81-degree day in South Florida. We welcome you to American Airlines Arena for Game 1 of this best-of-7 opening round series. The New Orleans Hornets facing the resurgent Miami Heat. It's a matchup of the 4th and 5th seeds in the Eastern Conference. So look at the McDonald's starting lineups. First for the Hornets, Baron Davis, David Wesley in the backcourt. Davis coming back after he missed 9 games with a sprained ankle. George Lynch, Jamal McGlure, who's been on a tear as of late, and the one-time member of the Heat, P.J. Brown, up front. A look at Miami, the outstanding rookie, Dwayne Wade, along with Eddie Jones in the backcourt. Jones, a former Charlotte Hornet. Caron Butler with Brian Grant, and Lamar Odom has had a breakthrough season up front. Marv Albert with the czar. Mike Fratello will be joined in a moment by Craig Sager. These are two teams that have been going in opposite directions. Miami won its last 5 of 6, 17 of the last 21 to finish 42-40 in a remarkable turnaround. And the Hornets started the season at 17-7. Since then, the record 24-34, and they dropped down to that number 5 seed. The officials, Dick Bavetta, Joe Forte, and Tim Donaghy. And it's amazing, Czar, when you look at Miami. Pat Riley resigned just days before the start of the season, remains as team president. At the time Pat stepped down, he said it was time for another voice. Stan Van Gundy takes over. They go 0-7, and here they are after going 42-40 with a tremendous finish to the season.
I'm not sure how much more pressure Stan Van Gundy could have been under, taking over 4 days before the start of the season, having Caron Butler out, recovering from knee surgery. Lamar Odom goes down early, Dwayne Wade goes down early, and yet somehow they found a way.
P.J. Brown dumps it down low. Here is Jamal McGlure. Rebounded by Butler.
And you saw the double team that time on McGlure. I doubt if that will be a steady diet tonight. They will try and change up on McGlure, but he had it much too low, so they felt they had to come and help.
Here's Odom. Rebounded by Odom. And Brown is there. We're just underway here in Miami. Davis off the dribble, able to beat Wade, and it's called an offensive foul.
One thing, Mark, you go to the basket against Miami, you better anticipate someone stepping up. This team is very, very good at covering for one another. Watch the rotation over. There's Brian Grant, who takes the offensive foul. Between Brian Grant and Udonis Haslem, you have 2 big men willing to sacrifice their bodies. They step in all the time.
This is a Miami team that went from last place in the Atlantic Division a year ago to placing 4th in the conference with home court advantage here in the first round. And it's an offensive foul the other way. It's on Eddie Jones.
I think it was on Lamar Odom, actually, who may have been called for setting the illegal screen. Eddie Jones came off the screen, and Eddie may have gone a little bit too soon. That's not a good foul, Mark, for Miami, because Odom is a big concern for them as far as picking up early fouls. They're going to rely on him to bring up the ball many times tonight against New Orleans' pressure.
Just over a minute gone by, and no score. You hear the crowd reacting to the air ball from David Wesley, but last touched by the Heat. So New Orleans, with 6 on the shot clock, will put it in play.
New Orleans has turned into quite a perimeter team during this season. They have really upped the number of 3-point field goal attempts from a year ago. They shot just 13 a year ago. This year, they're up over 20 attempts per game. Their field goal percentage from the 3-point line, Marv, has gone from almost 38 last year down to 31 this season.
Here's Brown on a catch and shoot. Back comes Jones. Odom with the step. Lamar Odom averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists during the regular season. Brown is stripped by Odom. And the Heat can run its offense through Lamar from the low post. He handles the ball. Guy is in great condition this season.
Well, he has done a great job on the weight program under Bill Fran, the strength and conditioning coach, as Wesley misses the jumper. Let's face it, Marv, there were a lot of questions about Lamar Odom in the offseason when he was a free agent. Some teams backed away. And for Miami, after Elton Brand was matched, okay, by the Clippers and they kept Brand, the next guy they went to was Odom, and he has really come to the front as far as answering those questions they had about him.
All right, here's Davis, changed his mind, tried to get it to McGlure, did not expect the pass. And it's deflected out. Last touch by McGlure, so it will be Miami ball. And getting back to Lamar Odom, he's made it back from 2 drug policy violations, a number of injuries this season. Because of that excellent conditioning, he has been sidelined for only 2 games. Butler. And Joe Forte with a loose ball foul against Brian Grant.
The commitment started with Mickey Arison, the owner of the Heat, going along with Pat Riley's advice, signed him to a 6-year, $65 million contract. And this young man certainly has had an outstanding season. I felt he should have received real strong consideration for the All-Star team representing the Eastern Conference. He is a leader on this team.
Now McGlure lost it off his foot. Well, both clubs struggling at the offensive end here at the start. The Heat with a 2-0 lead, 2.5 minutes gone by. There's Wade with the crossover move and score!
That's what you get with Dwayne Wade. He has broken a few ankles this season with that strong crossover. There's where Davis is comfortable behind the three-point line. Baron Davis with a 3.
You mentioned New Orleans looking to shoot the 3 frequently. They have broken a franchise record. Most three-pointers attempted. They like to fire away from downtown. There's Odom. And a blocking foul is called. Hornets hoping for a charge.
Well, yeah, you mentioned here both teams getting off to a slow start. Well, when you look at the 2 rosters and the number of games that they have played in the playoffs, a dramatic difference between the Heat with just 151 games experience versus the Hornets with over 400 games of playoff experience. Remember, you've got Mashburn out, who also had 52 games of playoff experience for New Orleans, who he's not on the roster now, so you can't include him, obviously.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Well, last season, the Hornets went 47-35. They finished 3rd in their division in the playoffs. First round loss to the 76ers in 6 in a good series. While Miami, a team that won only 25 games last season. Is Al Mashburn sitting it out. T.J. Brown. Loose ball foul. It's on Miami. Foul on Grant. That's his 2nd. Al Mashburn sidelined with swelling in his right knee caused by a bone bruise. Played only 19 games. So the Hornets going through the playoffs as they did the regular season, minus nearly 30 points per game. Jamal Mashburn and Courtney Alexander are both sidelined.
Remember, Marv, last year was the first time in 10 seasons for Mashburn that he played all 82 games. The year before that, he had played in just 40. So this is a player who has sustained his share of injuries, and after playing in 82 games last year, he gets hurt in the playoffs.
Odom gets it to Butler. Nice pass. Brian Grant sitting down after picking up the 2 fouls, and Udonis Haslem, a high-energy player, rookie out of Florida, getting the nice reaction from the crowd as he checked in. Miami with a 7-3 lead on the Hornets. Here is Lynch for 3. Talking earlier with head coach Tim Floyd, he said he would prefer if his team did not shoot as many from downtown. Haslem. Haslem off the bench and connects on his first field goal attempt. Miami 9 and New Orleans 3.
Well, Haslam is an incredible story. If you could see pictures of him about 3 years ago, he looked like he was 80 pounds heavier. The offensive rebound by P.J. Brown puts it back in. Haslam came, lost all kinds of weight. He is in tremendous shape, and now he's an NBA player, which he could never even dream of 3 or 4 years back.
The Heat with a 9-5 lead. Jones being played by Wesley. Haslam trying to set the pick. Butler went 1-on-3, hoping to draw the foul. Now Davis gets the screen. Brown, strong move by P.J. Brown. P.J. spent 4 years with Miami, following 3 years as a member of the Nets, and then traded over to the Hornets. 9-7. Miami, the chant of "Let's go Heat." Butler changed his mind, and he surprised Wade. Wade trying to poke it away from Davis from behind. Wesley going at Haslam. And they got squeezed in. Crowd wanted to travel. Nice play. Davis for McLaurin. It counts, and the foul.
That's the concern of Miami, the size and strength of the inside people that New Orleans has. Coming into this thing, 3 big things that jump out at you are rebounding the ball against this team. You see him close out to force Davis into becoming a driver, but then when he gets inside, he finds his big man, McLaurin, who will now go to the line, try and finish this 3-point play.
Foul on Haslam. Darrell Armstrong, who's missed the last 3 games. Back from a badly sprained right ankle, a very important guy for the Hornets, has checked in. So he'll give it a shot on the sprained ankle. That's Armstrong with it, picked up by Odom. Wesley with room for 3. The Hornets have taken a 12-9 lead.
This is basically a 2 to 3 minute audition for Darrell Armstrong, based on what Tim Floyd told us. They didn't really think he could play. Armstrong insisted that he's okay to play. They're going to leave him out here for a couple minutes and then determine how much they will let him play.
And a 9-0 run by the Hornets. Odom able to keep it alive, and he is fouled. He was hacked.
See a very aggressive Lamar Odom. This is a young man who has waited for an opportunity for the playoffs. He's there now, certainly asserting himself.
5:45 remaining in the first. Hornets with a 12-9 lead.
On 2004 Western Conference Finals, only on TNT.
The 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT are being brought to you by Chili's. Want more flavor in your life? Come to Chili's. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By Miller, vote Miller for President of Beers. Good call. And by Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless, they never stop working for you. We welcome you back to American Airlines Arena. Marv Albert along with the czar, Mike Fratello. We were talking earlier with the head coach of the Hornets, Tim Floyd, and talking about the tremendous excitement here in Miami. The fact this club has come from so far back. They played so well. Fans are coming back. The crowds are big. New Orleans has not played well. How significant it would be for a victory here in Game 1 for the Hornets.
The first thing he mentioned to us was, let's face it, he said the road teams haven't had a whole lot of success in playing games close, with the exception of Houston last night against the Lakers. But he felt coming in here, they could really take a lot of wind out of their sails and quiet this crowd down, who has been a great group of people during the season for Miami. Very supportive this season.
Tim, in his first year as the head coach of the Hornets, he's been under fire, as has general manager Bob Bass, because of the disappointing second half of the season. Tim taking over. Paul Silas, Bob Bass. Dramatic difference for Tim following 3 years as head coach of the Bulls. Following the Michael Jordan era. Wesley, as he made his move, was tripped up. The foul on Miami. It is on Rafer Alston, who just checked in.
You're seeing these drives by New Orleans because Miami is working so hard at closing out to take away the jump shot. Let's see if the left arm pushes off right there at the end. That's where the flop comes from, or the foul, whichever way you want to look at it.
It's team foul number 4 on the Heat. McGlure with a nice pass for Lynch. McGlure has had a terrific month. In fact, he is the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. And over the last 4 weeks, he's averaged 23 points, 14 rebounds.
Well, here's the dilemma when you are trying to figure out if you're Miami. Odom goes down right there, takes a hard spill on his back. The problem is because Miami is so much smaller on the inside than New Orleans is, if you come and double team, then you're opening up the three-point line. We've already mentioned they shoot over 20 per game, New Orleans, from downtown. Stan Van Gundy would rather change his defense up by sometimes playing in front, sometimes occasionally double teaming, but he wants to keep them off balance. And that's why you see New Orleans attacking the inside the way they are.
That foul on Lynch is second, and he'll take a seat in a moment. Here is Butler. Rebounded by Brown. Now Armstrong working the point. Armstrong and Wesley at the guards. Bodies continue to hit the deck. Look back at the season series between these two teams. Nice pass again. McGlure cannot hit, and it's saved by Wade.
This is a key for Miami, transition. We were told by Tim Floyd, one of his biggest concerns is his team getting back against the quickness of Miami.
Odom, yes. The Hornets 14, the Heat 12. They started to say in the season series, Miami won 3 out of 4. They won 2 here, plus a 24-point win in New Orleans, but a very heated series. A total of 12 technical fouls were handed out. Butler with the feed for Wade and an offensive foul. Basket will not count. We've had a number of offensive fouls here at the Star.
Don't be surprised. That's not part of the scouting report in New Orleans, is that Wade does leave his feet a lot and gets caught up in the air. After the pass off, you can see Armstrong stepping in. Armstrong, very dangerous when you're on offense if he's in front of you, because he will step in there and take a charge. And you see that brief little tryout or audition that we talked about. Armstrong now returns to the bench. Baron Davis comes back on.
Stacey Augmon has checked in for the first time, replacing George Lynch. Lynch sitting down after call for that second foul. Haslem defending on McGlure. McGlure saying he was fouled. Here comes Jones. The feed for Butler. Miami on the run, and they've tied it at 14. 3.5 to play in this first quarter, and the Hornets look to talk it over.
You talk about teams that can really change ends from defense to offense. Well, Miami's 3 guys in Wade, Eddie Jones, and Caron Butler as good as anyone in getting out, filling the lanes, outnumbering the defense. And you see Butler, the middleman, with the finish at the end as Eddie Jones centers it back up again.
LA's finest, Detroit's baddest, together again. Don't miss Eddie Murphy in the Saturday Night New Classic, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Saturday night at 7 on TNT.
This has been a very testy series between the New Orleans Hornets and the Miami Heat. 12 technical fouls, as I mentioned, 3 ejections in the 4 games. Miami taking 3 out of 4. Their last meeting in mid-March here in Miami, very physical. In fact, Lamar Odom and Jamal McGlure were ejected. Wesley able to knock it down. Now, the last time that Miami and New Orleans met in the postseason 3 years ago, the Hornets swept the Heat 3 games to nothing. It was a wipeout. Hornets winning by 26, by 26, and by 15. They were then the Charlotte Hornets. Nice ball movement. Here's Butler on the crossover, setting it up for Odom. Odom with the tip. Odom gets to it again, and Wesley knocked it aside. Here come the Hornets as the three members of the Heat hit the deck. Augment has to pull it up. Stopped by Alston. Davis passed down the three. Davis. Al Davis from downtown. Rebounded by McLaur. Spins his way. McLaur with the tip. Brown able to hammer it home.
See how hard the Heat have to work just to try and come up with a rebound when you've got McLaur and P.J. Brown tipping the ball up on the rim to keep it alive a second and third time. If they continue to get in deep, New Orleans, they will really be a headache for the Heat for the rest of the evening.
Here the crowd reaction. They were looking for a call with Miami players landing on the floor. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Jones digging hard. That's a 24-second violation. So the ball back to New Orleans. Here's tractor trailer coming on for the first time for the Hornets, replacing Jamal McLaur.
So Stan Van going to be very concerned right now, talking to the officials about the rebounding there by New Orleans, obviously hoping that his players can block out deeper and then get a call of New Orleans coming over their back. The steal by Rafer Alston.
And Alston able to finish. Rafer Alston has been a valuable player for the Miami Heat, a guy who's bounced around, has that playground flair. In fact, they call him Skip to my Lua, a playground legend in New York City, but he spent time in the CBA, the Development League, a number of NBA teams. Alston now defending on Davis, and a foul on Alston.
So you can see the size difference that Baron Davis has over Alston. That's one of the reasons why during the season Davis averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, and almost 7 assists against this Miami team. So he's a handful. As soon as he saw he had Rafer Alston, Davis started to back him down into the lane area.
Miami over the foul limit, so Davis at the line.
Alston feels like he gets his hand in there and strips Davis of the ball. Now watch Davis methodically get him down as low as he can. Outside that particular angle, like Alston stripped him pretty good at the ball that time.
Davis making it back from that sprained left ankle. Missed 9 straight games at the end of the season. The Hornets going 3 up, 6 down at that point. Remember, back at mid-season, he was a bona fide MVP candidate. It's a three-quarter catch. Eddie Jones from downtown. The Hornets lead 20-19.
Davis has had 2 seasons, Mark, back-to-back. A year ago, 50 games during the regular season. This season, just 67 games. And he's a guy who just signed a new contract, a 6-year deal worth $85 million.
Nice pass from Davis. Trailer did not convert. Less than a minute remaining in this first quarter. Alston scored 3. Rebounded by Jones.
Alston loves to get an early 3 up at the basket. He has made a 3-point shot, Mark, in 48 consecutive games.
Horton with a turning pass and a foul. Haslam pushed from behind by Davis, so that's a second foul on Baron Davis.
One thing about Lamar Odom, he's a very, very unselfish player. He sees 2 defenders coming over. He immediately spots Udonis Haslem under the baskets. Watch Odom take on the 2 blue jerseys. Then he spots his teammate Haslem going to the front of the rim.
Udonis Haslem, a player who was not drafted. He played in France last year, averaged 17 points a game, 9 rebounds, and played well for the Heat Summer League team, which led to a contract. He was a 4-year starter at the University of Florida. High-energy player, and he's been a significant guy coming off the bench.
Basically coming off the bench, he leads Miami in offensive rebounds for the season. He had 189 offensive rebounds this season for the young man.
Miami up by 1. There's a 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's Altman. Trailing I believe that was a pass. Stacey Augmon for tractor trailer. Final seconds of the first. The Hornets with a 1-point lead. Odom setting it up. Here's Odom with the runner. Yes! 3/10 of a second left in the quarter. After one, here in Miami, the Heat with a 23-22 lead on the Hornets.
You're going to find out as the game goes on. Lamar Odom is a tough shot maker, off balance with a lot of contact. He has great concentration and balance and strength to get it up.
Fast start for Odom, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in the first quarter, while the Hornets led by P.J. Brown with 6 points, 5 rebounds.
The sun is setting on a beautiful sunny day in Miami. Temperatures in the 80s, but inside American Airlines Arena with over 20,000 fans dressed in black, it looks more like an eclipse. What started out as a little promotion a couple of weeks ago with fans getting free black t-shirts that they wore a Miami Heat jersey has now turned into a full-scale marketing campaign. Over 24,000 black t-shirts given out tonight alone. Now it's the attitude back in black. An attitude back in the playoffs, and on top of all that, this team is back on the positive side of the ledger, making money for the first time. Now you look on the court, you see the team wearing white uniforms. There was a marketing decision to petition the league to allow them to wear the black road uniforms. But you know how coaches are, Marv, and having won 12 straight games in the sport in white, Stan Van Gundy said no gray area. Black shirts in the stand, white uniforms on the court.
Sorry, you can relate to that.
I can relate to it. I also can relate to the fact that Tim Floyd told us he wanted to go inside and count the ball. Well, right now, of the 24 field goal attempts, and there's number 17 now. 17 of the 25 attempts are from the front court people of New Orleans. High concentration of getting the ball inside and then pounding Miami.
Miami with a 25-24 lead. Here's Brian Grant, who just checked back in, rebounded by Stacey Augmon. Baron Davis working the point is Darrell Armstrong with him. P.J. Brown up front with tractor trailer and Augmon. Wade defending on Davis. Trailer met by Haslam. And here's Augmon. Dangerous cross-court pass thrown, but the Hornets able to get to it. They have a 26-25 lead.
You have to throw those kinds of cross-court passes because Miami's defense is so good at coming into the lane area from the weak side that skipping it across the floor will get them to close out hard and get you open shots.
Wade with the rebound of his own miss. Here's Butler, and foul is called as offensive foul. Augmon able to take the hit to draw that foul.
You have two teams here with players on it willing to put their bodies in front. That time Butler starts to go right, his left, the defensive man's right. Augmon slides over, gets there in time to pick up the contact.
The rookie from Xavier of Ohio, first-round draft pick David West, has come on for the first time. He's replaced P.J. Brown. We asked Tim Floyd about West's play this season. He says, you know, he's better than we anticipated.
You can't do that. You're not allowed to jump up in the air and come back down again without dribbling or passing.
Take your pick. That's a travel or discontinue. So the ball back to Miami. Hornets by 1. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Here is Alston for 3.
That was a deep 3 that time by Alston. Alston, in the back of his mind, obviously would like to keep that string alive. Sometimes he winds up taking some bad shots because he's trying to get it over with early in the game.
This is game 1 of the best of 7 of this Eastern Conference first round series. Game 2 here in Miami on Wednesday night. Then they return to New Orleans. West able to tip it to Davis. Davis rebounded by Haslam. Butler going at Altman, and a reach in his call as Stacey Altman tried to block it aside.
First, teams first. For the Heat, number 45, Rasul Butler in the game.
And now Rasul Butler, second-year man from LaSalle, comes on for Ron Butler. Sits down with 4 points. Rasul, a second-round draft pick last year.
Just had a huge game to end the regular season. 16 points coming off the bench in 20 minutes versus New Jersey, and definitely a downtown three-point threat for the Heat.
Shot clock is down to 2. And here is Butler. Tested immediately. The tip missed by Grant. That is not the way you'd like to take your first shot of the night. Davis for 3. Baron Davis from downtown. And the Hornets now lead 29-25 for Davis, his second from beyond that three-point line.
New Orleans saying that this is the healthiest Baron Davis has been in a long time this season, although his ankle still could be a problem, the one that he sprained badly. They say he's feeling relatively good right now.
Alston for 3. Kept alive by the Heat. Haslem, his foul as he attempted the reverse. So Haslem will head for the line.
Foul, number 34, Robert Traylor.
Foul on Traylor. 8.5 to go in this first half. Timeout call. Hornets lead by 4.
New Orleans leading 29-25. Excellent spacing for the Hornets against the Miami defense, which is so good at covering the floor. On the pick and roll, as Miami starts to make its defense, you see a rotation across, then watch the other 5 white jerseys, all within the paint. So as a result, if you look to the weak side of the floor, you have Stacey Augmon in one spot, you have Armstrong in the other spot. You must look across the floor because that's where many times the opponents are wide open. Defense collapses, skip it, swing it. Spacing is good enough that Miami can't get back in time.
Czar, you were telling our production crew earlier that you really prefer it when our usual partner Steve Kerr is not with us because you have more time to talk.
Well, you know, it's not that I have anything against Steve. It's just that...
It's not what you said earlier, though.
All right, then I do have some things against him, but that shouldn't be discussed on the air right now.
Steve will be working the second of our TNT doubleheader with Dick Stockton. That'll be Denver at Minnesota following the Heat and the Hornets.
Good luck, Dick. I hope you get an opportunity somewhere along the game to say a few things.
But the Nuggets improving by 26 games from a year ago. And they win 5 out of 6 down the stretch, finished in the number 8 seed, sparked by rookie Carmelo Anthony. And the T-Wolves, the number 1 seed, led by MVP candidate Kevin Garnett. That's all coming up in the second of our twin bill. Well, Stacey Augmon able to go glass on a fadeaway to give New Orleans a 5-point lead.
A lot of confidence by Tim Floyd. As soon as he saw Rasul Butler matched up against Stacey Augmon, he called the post-up play for Augmon. Augmon produces with a basket.
Miami just 1 of 8 here in the second quarter. Foul is called on Traylor. That's a blocking foul. The Hornets have come out hitting 4 of 5 from the field.
34, Robert Traylor, his second, team's third.
So Dwayne Wade to the line. Dwayne Wade missing 21 games due to a series of injuries, primarily a bone contusion of the right wrist. He was a 5th pick overall, first-round selection by Miami, an exciting player after spending 2 years at Marquette. Wayne, only 21 years old, the youngest player to start an opening night in the history of this Miami franchise.
He is a very exciting player. He is athletic. He plays above the rim. He has had tremendous finishes at the ends of fast breaks, which bring these people to their feet and really injects energy into his teammates.
Here is West with the open shot.
David West.
David West extends to a 33-28 Hornet lead.
Bob, you slowly see New Orleans' field goal percentage coming up now, shooting right at 47% right now, which is very good against a smothering Miami defense.
Alston this time passed on the three. Miami having difficulty locating shots, using much of the clock. Armstrong able to maintain his balance. They're looking pretty good on that sprained ankle.
I would say that he's won over his coach's confidence because we saw Tim Floyd come right back in with him again. This is a problem. Davis posting up, you see Miami come right away to double team and take it out of his hands.
Shot clock is down to 2. McGlure rebounded by Grant. Miami continues to be very aggressive off the board. Wade. 6.5 to play in the first half. Miami without a field goal the last 5 minutes, 10 seconds. West with the pass down low to McGlure, which led to the Miami foul. It was on Rasul Butler.
You see Stan Van Gundy trying to juggle lineups right now. There have been stretches during the season where Miami goes 4, 5, 6 minutes and has problems scoring the basketball, particularly if they don't get out in the open floor in transition. And because New Orleans is scoring the basketball now, it's tough for Miami to get its running game going.
Augman is fouled. Stacey Augman very active at the offensive end, and he's headed to the line as Rasul Butler picks up a second foul. Stacey Augman in his 13th NBA season.
The Heat calls timeout.
Now Miami takes a timeout. Hornets lead by 5. The 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT is brought to you by TGI Fridays. Try Friday's new shrimp flavors. 3 all-new dishes overflowing with flavor. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy. We welcome you back to American Airlines Arena. Look at Dick Pavetta, one of the premier officials in the history of the NBA. Czar, we have the Pavetta cam going. Dick always in command. Let's take a listen.
You need to stay perfectly still.
You know what happens? My mentality is such. Anything borderline, I have everybody going to the basket. So if you get caught up, absolutely. You guys got to help me up and clean it up a little bit, okay? I don't want to start calling. No, watch it, both guys. We don't need to call double fouls at this point. You clean it up for me.
I think one of the reasons why Dick Pavetta is so well respected by players and coaches because he has the proper demeanor. He can deal with them. He can speak to them in a certain way. They all agree he is perhaps the most knowledgeable official as far as the rules and interpretations go. And that's why he has actually been involved in so many NBA finals and all-star games, etc. over the years.
And it's a funny guy.
He is funny, isn't it? I mean, it's nothing for him to, during timeout, to take the unicycle away from somebody and try and ride it. Or he is just a good, solid person, a great basketball official.
Does it all with the proper attitude. Something you can learn from, Czar.
See that.
6:15 remaining in this first half. And the Hornets now lead 35-28. Look out. A couple of Hornets hit the deck. And Baron Davis gets up slowly, asks for the ball, and then hobbles his way up court, and he is hurting.
He grabbed his left ankle, left leg as soon as he went down when he fell over his teammate.
West firing one cross court to Wesley. The time running down, 1 on the shot clock, and it's a violation. And Baron Davis not even looking over at Tim Floyd over at the Hornet bench. He wants to just stay on the floor.
Let's watch how Davis falls over his teammate. There you see his teammate backing into him as Wesley trips up Davis. There you see Davis, a little bit of a yell on the way down, then he immediately grabs his left ankle as Eddie Jones starts to tee it up.
And that's the ankle that was the problem. He had sprained left ankle that kept him out of the lineup for 9 straight games.
Foul number 4, David Wesley.
Foul on Wesley.
Team foul number 4.
Both these teams have been hard hit by injury. Jamal Mashburn did not make the playoff roster because of the knee problem. Davis in all sat out 15 games. David Wesley, problems with the toe. And recently, Darrell Armstrong sat out, in fact, the last 3 games of the regular season because of that sprained ankle.
Then he re-injured the ankle, Armstrong, in the practice day before yesterday.
David West sitting down. Wade trying to put a move on Davis. Blocked from behind. Kept alive by Grant. Rejected by Brown.
Happens often to Brian Grant around the rim where bigger opponents, because he's matched so often against taller centers, wind up affecting his interior shots.
Here's Altman. Rebounded by Grant. Lost it. He thought it was fouled. Wesley for 3. David Wesley. 3 years ago, in the sweep by the Hornets over the Heat, just killed Miami, averaged 17 points, and shot 55% from the field. Butler just checked back in. Odom wide open at the head of the circle, wanted the ball, they did not see him.
Well, as you know, if you shoot enough threes, eventually they're going to go down. Even though New Orleans is 28th in the league in three-point field goal percentage, and there we see another 3 by Baron Davis. They take over 20 a game. Number 2 in the league. The only team that took more this season was Seattle.
But Miami in the middle of a drought. 1 for 15 here in the quarter. Butler is fouled. Biggest lead of the night. The Hornets by 10. Foul on McGlure. That is his first. Ron Butler will go to the line. Talked earlier about the many injuries suffered by the Hornets. Well, Butler has made it back from arthroscopic knee surgery and has come on strong recently. Reminder, get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune in to the NBA TV playoff show, Destination Finals, every weeknight, 6 o'clock, only on NBA TV. Miami now 7 of 11 at the line. Well, 1 for 15 from the field here in the second quarter. Then Butler misses on both.
Heat down at 30% shooting for the game. The steal by Caron Butler. Now a transition opportunity.
Went to the left hand and drew the foul. So Butler will go back to the line.
42, P.J. Brown, his second.
Brown committing his second.
Mark, when you look out on the floor right now, just between these two teams, the veterans that New Orleans has versus you're looking at the Miami group, Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, Dwayne Wade, never in a playoff game before. So you see the experience of New Orleans showing up here. Their poise, their defensive pressure that they put on Miami shooting. That's why Miami right now at 30% and New Orleans up at 44 as far as shooting the basketball.
At the first point for the Heat in 4 minutes. 38-30 New Orleans. Just under 4 to go in this first half. Blocking foul on Wade.
Heat foul number 3, Dwayne Wade, his first, team's third. Delay of game warning.
And a delay of game is called on Miami. A second delay of game leads to a technical foul. Apparently the ball was knocked aside, not allowing New Orleans to inbound. Davis and Wesley at the guards. Brown, McGlure, and Augment up front.
3-second
and a 3-second violation called on the Hornets. So the ball back to the Heat.
Miami fronting the low post. The offensive player for New Orleans gets his feet in the lane, doesn't get out of there quick enough. Fronting the low post and leaning against him can make that happen. A 3-second call.
Wade finishes wide and took it to the rim. That's the first Miami field goal in 8.5 minutes.
I think that showed you something right there, because Wade took off a little bit too soon and still was able to get to the rim. He was on his way down and finished it with a dunk. And this is a big matchup right here. If Wade is ever going to become, there's the strip, back-to-back fouls by Wade. If he's ever going to become a true superstar, this is the one side of the floor, the defensive end, that he must improve. Here's the elevation and the ability to finish while hanging in the air, but then trying to get the strip gets a little bit too much arm rather than ball.
And that was three-point territory in the act. So 3 free throws for Baron Davis. Dwayne Wade called for a second foul. Now George Lynch checks back in, replacing Stacey Augmon. Good job by Augmon. Scored 8 points. 8 points in 13 minutes. Earlier today in the NBA playoffs, Game 1, Detroit beating Milwaukee 108-82. Detroit had 14 steals in that game. The team playoff record. Ben Wallace 17 points, 14 rebounds. Rasheed Wallace 17 and 10. And Sacramento knocked off Dallas 116-105, led by Chris Webber 26 and 12. Kenny, Charles, and Nick Van Exel will have 4 in the studio at halftime as Odom is able to hit and is fouled. Lamar Odom with a strong drive, and he'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. Fouled by Brown, for Brown is third.
Odom is able to find the creases and seams and has a way of getting through there before the defense can get to him and then finish on big shots.
Everybody understands the goal here. We're all focused on the goal. And everybody's lit. You know, it's not like 1 or 2 guys. And you're like, oh, I'm in for a battle here. Everybody understands. Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to go. Practices are more crazy than our games.
Well, the T-Wolves, the #1 seed, led by Kevin Garnett, going up against Denver. Game 2 of our TNT doubleheader. Minnesota looking to put an end to that run of 7 straight first-round departures. And Ernie Kenny Charles and special guest Nick Van Exel will have more on the Verizon Wireless halftime report. Check out the first half here and a look ahead to Game 1 between Denver and Minnesota. Here's Lamar Odom looking to complete the three-point play. 2:49 remaining in the first half. So New Orleans up 40-35. Tim Floyd has to be very happy. Has Jamal Mashburn sidelined. McGlure only 1 for 7. Davis actually with more turnovers than field goals. He's hit 2 from downtown, and he has 3 turnovers. Yet the Hornets lead here on the road.
New Orleans did a very good job defensively. They are well prepared. They are taking away the initial options and making Dwayne Wade turn into a jump shooter, trying to minimize the amount of times he goes to the baskets. They're getting good help from their big people.
And last touch by West. Miami will have 5 on the 24.
Like to run Eddie Jones off a little screen to get this shot with 5 seconds or less remaining when they take the ball out in the corner.
Butler couldn't find anyone. Now here's Haslam. He went to the pull-up and scored.
Good job that time by Haslam to create a shot. He knew that the shot clock was down. It was actually at 2 seconds left when he went up for the jump shot. He created his own shot, which is something he normally does not do.
Miami with a 9-2 run since that drought. And the Heat will get it back.
Baron Davis tried to feed the post that was being fronted from a good 32, 34 feet out. That's a very difficult pass to make from that far out. Two more dribbles, then it's a better angle, shorter distance.
1 point. Miami only 1 of 15 from the field here in this second quarter. Good hustle. However, Wesley able to come up with it. Here's Davis. Lynch. Yes. George Lynch. From Baron Davis. Davis came up hobbling just moments ago, was able to work through it, although still looks to be favoring that left foot back from the sprained ankle. 5-point lead for the Hornets. Coming up on a minute left in the half. Jones for 3. Yes. Eddie Jones stepping back beyond that 3-point line, and he's brought Miami within 2.
Such an important part of the Miami offense, because if you have drive and kick people or a lot of post-up people, which Miami does not, but they put the ball on the floor very well, you need an Eddie Jones to spread out the defense.
Here's Lynch for 3, an air ball and a loose ball foul on Miami.
So tough on a ball that winds up being shot that turns into an air ball. You have 2 big men fighting for position underneath to come up with a rebound. That's where the foul was called against, I think, Udonis Haslem.
And it puts the Heat over the foul limit. Both teams over the foul limit. Haslem picks up his second, and Jamal McGlory at the line, a 75% free throw shooter. Jamal just 1 of 7 from the field.
Look to see if New Orleans extends its defense right now with 44 seconds remaining. Miami could come down, Marvin, play a little 2-for-1 basketball, try and get 2 shots up here before the half comes. We'll see if New Orleans extends its defense. It'll be hard, though, for Armstrong because of the bad angle to really get after the ball hard in the backcourt.
Ray for Alston back handling against Darrell Armstrong. Odom played by West. It's an offensive foul. It's a charge called on Odom.
Offensive foul on the Heat, number 7, Lamar Odom. That's his second.
We've probably seen New Orleans take 4 or 5 charges already. Odom fakes high, comes baseline. You see West move his feet. Tim Floyd told us he gives us athleticism as well as giving us a low post presence. Probably a pretty good call by the official.
22nd timeout.
The Hornets
called by the Hornets. It was the 4th offensive foul charged against Miami.
New Orleans done a good job making their rotations.
Well, game 2 of this best of 7 first-round series take place here in Miami. That'll be Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be seen on NBA television. Game 3 back in the Big Easy Saturday afternoon. It's a TNT game, and the same for game 4, Tuesday, April the 27th at New Orleans.
Both coaches electing to go back home after the first game in the opponent's respective cities. So New Orleans will fly back tonight after this game, then come back in on Tuesday for Wednesday's game, and then once Miami gets to New Orleans for game 3, which is an afternoon game, Miami will fly right back, so they could be back in Miami by 8 o'clock that night.
In effect, both coaches not trusting the opposition city in terms of their own players. Tim Floyd thinking, well, let's see, South Beach a couple days? No. Stan Van Gundy saying, Bourbon Street? No. We'll go back home.
See, now you used the wrong terminology. You said not trusting. That's not the case. They just want to be comfortable in their own beds.
Exactly.
That's all.
Down to 10 seconds remaining, and McGlory is rejected. All right, here comes Alston, and he is foul blocked by Davis. He had no room along that sideline, and he's called for the foul.
I think it's Eddie Jones that gets a piece of the ball from behind. This looks like a sure layup on the inside. And there you see 2 players from Miami, Eddie Jones being one of them, that comes up with the block shot, led to the fast break. Alston fouled over at the sideline by Baron Davis.
That's 3 on Davis. Not a good foul, but Tim Floyd just went over to Barron and said, not your fault. You were trying to pressure along the far side, but he picked up a foul with New Orleans over the limit, and Alston now with 2 shots, able to cut it down to 3 with 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
5 seconds is a lot of time to go from one end of the court to the other to get a shot off at the buzzer. So this very easily could be a good 3-point attempt for New Orleans in transition.
Blake Allen has come on for Udonis Haslem.
Stan Van Gundy trying to match up right now with the team that Tim Floyd put on this floor. So Stan trying to make sure that Caron Butler, who has 2 fouls, doesn't pick up a 3rd one unnecessarily. So he brings in Rasul Butler to take his place.
Alston hits 1 of 2. Here's Augman firing one from the backcourt. So that's the end of the first half. Miami led by Lamar Odom with 11 points, 7 rebounds. Lamar making an appeal to the official Tim Donaghy. And Baron Davis, although hobbling around for a good portion of this first half, with 10 points. New Orleans 44, Miami 41. Let's go to Craig with Baron Davis.
Well, Baron, good first half, except for that 3rd foul that you weren't really happy with. How will that affect you in the second half?
No, just got to still be aggressive. You know, watch the reach and kind of, you know, tone it down a little bit defensively in the 3rd quarter and wait till the 4th quarter to try to save all my fouls.
First quarter, you went back to the locker room, had your ankle retaped, then you fell again in the 2nd quarter. How bad is the ankle bothering you?
Real bad. It's a sprain. It's just, I'm just out here playing, man, just trying to lead us to victory. It's not able for me to move the way I want to, play defense or be explosive on the offensive end, but it's just something you got to play through.
What will you do with the ankle at halftime?
Ice it, probably. Ice it and, you know, probably massage it and get it retaped.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Craig. Hornets have led by as many as 10. They lead by 3 at the half. Coming up, the Verizon Wireless halftime report. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Nick Van Exel back in Atlanta. Let's go to Ernie Johnson.
All right, thank you, Marv, and thank you for handling the introductions as well to the Verizon Wireless halftime report.
It's every day like this.
40 games in 40 nights.
Wake up, Chuck.
No, this is something he's trying to express. This is non-verbal communication.
Wow.
Come on now. You whine when it's the regular season. Now it's the playoffs, and you're come on.
First of all, when they show good games, like, I get excited. Ernie, I need this tape.
Don't make me hit the button.
Hey, I'm saying,
Don't make me hit the button. Don't make me hit the button.
It wasn't that. You know who this remind me of? The old Miami Heat and the old Knicks, where you can go out and grab dinner, and when you get back, it's going to be 75-75 with 5 minutes to go. This is the way this series, this is, woof, this is boring.
We're 24 minutes into it.
That's the bad news. The good news is there's only 24 minutes left.
He's tough to deal with. He waits all year for this, and then just.
I'm excited about this. I am really excited about the second game more than anything.
Kenny has pictures. Kenny has pictures of the first half.
You know what?
Kenny's excited about the first half.
I'm excited. You agree with me, don't you?
No, the game wasn't as boring as you say it is. I think it had its moments, but I think it has its moments to have an up tempo, and I think
they got 40 points, Kenny.
I think because of Lamar Odom.
They got 40
what he does
points
in the game. You saw what Michael Jordan early in the
Hey, we're going to talk
show.
about that in the second.
Okay,
segment.
he said something to Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
And this guy, the goods, he's still a goods, and he does this, and he does some of the things that Michael said. But here he is now. He's a tough guard for them because he can beat anyone on that team off the dribble if they put him on him for that 3, 4, 5 position. But here he gets assists, and he also gets rebounds, and that's one of the biggest things that makes him fun to watch because he can get the rebound, push it up, Magic ain't here, but Nick is here tonight in Magic Seat. But he can bring it in there, and he can find people. He makes the game so much easier for everyone else. He has to learn to get more aggressive and to do that more consistently to be the player that he can be in this league.
11.7 rebounds, 3 assists in the first half for Odom, the goods. Stacey Augman's contribution off the New Orleans bench, Nick.
Excellent, excellent. He rebounded, he defended, and he made shots. He got to the foul line, and when he comes in and gives them points, it's a big plus for them.
How about Baron Davis's ankle? How big a concern if he's going to the locker room and telling Craig Sager at halftime, yeah, the thing is bothering me?
Throughout the whole playoffs, he has to be healthy for them to have any type of chance.
10 points and 3 assists in the first half and a sore ankle. Anything else you'd like to add?
You know, I enjoy watching Lamar. He does understand how to make players better. A lot of these guys in this league just want to jack it up and get the 30 points a night. They're all sitting at home, though.
Well, yeah, he's fun to watch. That's what's fun to watch about this game.
I love anybody who understands how to play the game.
To watch a guy, there it is, play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
And when we come back, we will talk about the only remaining Game 1. It's Game 2 of our doubleheader.
Tonight, in Game 2, a hungry pack of wolves hunt for their first playoff series victory. But who's hunting who? Nuggets Timberwolves, following Game 1. Win or go home.
The Halftime Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. Later tonight, the final Game 1 of the first round. The Denver Nuggets, who clinched on April 12th, will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And after the clinching victory and the celebration in the Denver locker room, the Nuggets had a special guest.
What do you think of the young fella here? Man, y'all was with us.
Once you turn that off, I tell you. I don't want his head to get too damn big.
I don't want to be in here when you tell him.
I won't. I call him and tell him all the time. Rebounds and assists. Scoring is easy. Rebounds and assists is consistent every single day.
Can you continue that conversation? I want to hear what else he said.
But why do you think about what Michael had to say in what we did see?
Michael understands the game. Yeah, Michael was a great offensive player, and he scored well. But to me, he was the first athletic 6'6" player who had fundamentals, and a great deal of fundamentals. His fundamental skills carried him throughout his career more than his athleticism, and I think that's what made him great, and that's why he understands that rebounds and assists.
Going to help Carmelo, too, with a guy like that who's kind of taken him under his wing, too, to say, hey, this is what it's about here.
I played with Michael. He never called me and tell me how to play.
That's because you couldn't play.
Okay.
In the old days, guys listened to veterans. They don't anymore. These young guys in the NBA, they don't listen to vets like they did when we came into the league. That's why my league is sinking right now.
Your league?
Yeah, it's my league. I helped build it, brother.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm not
Charles, you got to
that.
start calling some of the young guys. I'm sure they'll listen to you.
Well, you know, I don't try to get in their way because it's their time. But I will.
Yeah, but if you're concerned about the league, do what Michael does there with Carmelo. Get in one of these guys' heads and say, you know what, take care of the game.
But obviously, that's a little bit different because that's the Nike thing.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
Charles, you carry some weight.
No,
I'm serious. I didn't
dude.
realize till I said that how hilarious it was.
What about
you do, man? Some of these guys would love to hear that from you if you sidled up to somebody and said, you know what you need to do for your game?
Well, actually, you know what? It's the general manager and the coaches. We got a lot of coaches in this league that are cowards. That's the one thing I respect about Hubert Brown. He brought back old school, and that's obviously working. But they hiring all these young coaches, and they're trying to be friends with these players instead of teaching them to understand the game. And that's what's hurting the league more than anything.
I know we got to go.
And we got to get 20-year-olds.
You got to say real quick, if you had two guys that you say I could pull in this room and say these are the two guys I talk to, and then I know would take the lead away. Which two would you take in there? Take in the room with us and talk to.
Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson and Vince Carter.
There it is. Say no more.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but sitting on this side of the desk, there's been some. I feel like I'm vibrating a little bit because this has been going on all night. Is
you nervous?
He's got a bad left knee, but the right knee is the one that just non-stop here, Nick.
Nervous, Nick? Just
that thing has not stopped.
Just make like we in Fondy Rec Center, man. We back in Houston.
Real funny.
Hey, you'll get to like the guys upstairs as much as Charles does. Stick around.
The 2004 Western Conference Finals, only on.
The Halftime Report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
The 2004 Western Conference Finals, only on TNT.
has been loud here at American Airlines Arena. Capacity crowd, better than 19,000 on hand as we get ready for the second half. Marv Albert with the Czar, Mike Fratello, along with Craig Sager. Kind of a streaky first half, particularly in the second quarter, Czar. Miami with only one field goal the first 7 minutes of the quarter. They were 1 for 15. New Orleans in the last 5 minutes of the first half with just one field goal.
It's tough to establish any rhythm during the first half because you have charges being taken by the team defensively. Poor shooting, 38%, 41% respectively. The three-point line has failed Miami, which has been a big weapon for them during the course of the regular season. So right now, you need a team to get on a run to establish something and stay away from the turnovers. Total of 18 combined by both teams. That's a high number for these two teams.
Well, let's take a look at the cheap game summary. You mentioned the shooting percentages. New Orleans at 41 on 16 of 39, and Miami at 37%, 14 of 38 from the field. Miami with the 8-0 edge in fast break points. The Hornets backcourt has had the advantage. Baron Davis, although hobbling around for a good portion of the first half with that ankle problem, hit 2 from downtown. He has 10 points, the only Hornet in double figures, and Lamar Odom leading the way for Miami with 11. It is Miami ball as this third quarter gets underway. Jones checking the clock. They're going to take the pick from Odom. And here is Odom taking to the hoop. Odom with the rebound. Wade for 3. Dwayne Wade from downtown. The game is tied at 44.
The three-point shot has been a huge weapon for Miami during the course of the season. We mentioned a moment ago, and there's an offensive foul call by Dick Pavetta on P.J. Brown, I would imagine, setting the screen along the baseline for David Wesley. That three-point shot has been very, very critical to Miami's success this season.
And that's number 4 on Brown. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Tim Floyd's worst nightmare just happened. Although they had a 3-point lead at intermission, he told me he was very concerned about P.J. Brown. P.J. Brown's having a very difficult time staying in front of Lamar Odom. He said he has to be very aggressive, but yet stay out of foul trouble. He does not want to pick up his 4th, and here he does it right away. As for Baron Davis, he had his ankle re-taped. He says it feels a little bit better, but not much.
Thanks, Craig. And another offensive foul.
That's his 3rd personal foul.
This time it's on Odom. That's his 3rd.
Marv, it's not the screener's fault. The man with the ball goes too soon that time. The rookie, Dwayne Wade, did not let Lamar Odom get set and set the screen. He was in motion when the contact took place. A good call by the official. You must wait with the basketball, let the screen get set.
Here's West, who came on for P.J. Brown, able to post up. Tim Floyd saying that David West has been very effective as a post-up guy. West, the rookie from Xavier of Ohio, has given the Hornets a 2-point lead. And we open up with a series of whistles here at the start of the third quarter. That's on McClure, his 2nd.
West becomes important because if he is a low post presence, in fact, that's another way of creating shots for your teammates by drawing double teams on the inside. Tim Floyd mentioned to us one of the biggest things they miss with obviously Mashburn out. Besides his points and leadership, and he's a veteran player, you see the ball dribbled right out of bounds by Dwayne Wade, is the fact that Mashburn, along with Davis, created other shots for his teammates. That's what they're lacking.
Hornets up by 2. We're just underway here in the third. McClure off a beautiful play by the rookie West. Looked like Baron Davis was lifting to take the shot, so West, alert, was able to handle that pass and tipped it over to McClure. However, Eddie Jones right back from downtown.
You cannot be far off Eddie Jones when he's close to the three-point line because he's very, very comfortable there shooting the basketball.
That's the 3rd 3 for Jones. Wesley. Well, David Wesley able to hit while on the move, and he's given the Hornets a 3-point lead.
Tough shot that time by Wesley. Eddie Jones closed out, chased him off the three-point line, but Wesley stayed with it. And there we have a delay of game warning against the Hornets. So now I believe there's one against both teams. If there were to be another delay of game call, it would be a technical foul.
Stan Van Gundy going with Wade and Jones at the guards with Butler, Odom, and Grant up front. Wade passed on the three. Loose ball foul against Miami. A lot of activity, and Grant foul on with Odom. Three on Grant. So three apiece on Grant and Odom for the Hornets. Brown has 4. Davis with 3 fouls. Baron Davis picking up a foul right at the end of the first half. Another offensive foul. And that is number 4 on Davis.
And this is being called because Davis turns his shoulder right there into Eddie Jones, knocks Eddie Jones down on the outside handoff. Jones is coming, outside handoff. Watch Davis turn into him with that right shoulder. He goes down. There's the foul.
And Baron Davis is upset. Assistant coach Jan Van Bredikoff trying to calm him down. Jan and Baron Davis picks up number 4, replaced by Darrell Armstrong. Nice pass. Wesley could not finish. Rebounded by Grant.
Well, you have two teams who are playing similarly on the defensive end right now, both willing to step in and take a charge, both willing to play very physical as Odom tees it up on the three-pointer and misses, and it's frustrating to the players. I mean, how many games have you called this year that you've seen this many offensive fouls called with just past halftime?
We have already had a total of 8, 5 against Miami, 3 on New Orleans. Lynch is wide open for 3. Good play by Grant, handling that rebound. Here's Odom gunning it, broken up by Lynch. And the crowd looking for a travel on Lynch. McClure. Foul is called from Donahue. The late whistle. It is on McClure, his 3rd. A timeout taken by Miami with 4 minutes gone by in the 3rd. It's been rough. Hornets lead by 3. The 2004 NBA playoffs on TNT is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the NBA playoffs and finals, and by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep. A moment ago, we're talking about the high number of offensive fouls that have been called thus far, and it's been a very physical game.
Started off during the regular season matchup between these two teams. They'll both admit there's a little bit of bad blood existing between both franchises, and you see from the beginning, and they've practiced this way for the last couple days, both teams understanding that there was going to be no easy path to the basket without contact taking place.
The season series won by Miami 3-1 was heated. A total of 12 technical fouls, 3 ejections handed out. Odom able to drill it. Miami within 1. It has been an outstanding first career playoff game for Lamar Odom. Wade with the steal. Wade pushing it. Met by Armstrong. Butler facing the double, finding Wade, and he is fouled.
Has passed that time out of the double team by Caron Butler, and New Orleans recognized the fact that Butler had David Wesley posted up on his back, so they immediately came and double teamed. That's what created the opening for Wade to dive into the open area.
At the line, Dwayne Wade.
Foul on Wesley, his 2nd. Miami finished the regular season at 42-40 as the number 4 seed, gaining home court advantage in this first round. A team that began the season at 0-7. They have won their last 12 at home. Overall, 17 of their last 21 games. The Hornets, in contrast, after starting out at 17-7, have fallen off dramatically since mid-December. They've gone 24-34. Since then, they have been struggling. Shot clock down to 6. West backing his way. Lynch. Jones tried to keep it in play, hustling along the sideline, but deflected it out, so it will be Hornets in possession with the new clock.
Well, in fairness to New Orleans, they have been without, Jamal Mashburn for the majority of this season. And Tim Floyd told us that when they put this whole thing together, when he came in and took over Paul Silas, one thing they did is they built everything around Mashburn and Baron Davis as far as the new offense.
Here comes Wade. Oh, what a move. We talked about the high energy and the excitement level that this rookie provides. Wade able to race it to the rim to give Miami a 2-point lead. West, Miami wanted to travel on West. Last touched by the Heat.
Wade coming at you in the open floor is like a nightmare because he changes direction so quickly, and then he has the strength and power and explosiveness to finish near the basket.
Shot clock to 5. McClure. Well, the friendly roll, and he will take it. Has not shot well thus far. Just 3 of 11 for 8 points.
But you can see by his 11 field goal attempts, Marv, that they are concentrating on getting the ball into his hands versus the smaller Heat team.
Butler with room. Ron Butler has 8 points. Miami leads by 2. Just under 6 minutes to play in the third. Rollins in foul trouble. That's a traveling violation. P.J. Brown sitting down after picking up a 4th. Baron Davis on the bench after he collected a 4th foul.
See the personal fouls, 18 for New Orleans, 16 personal fouls for the Heat.
Here's Jones for 3. And the rebound is handled by West. Baron Davis sat down with his 4th foul. Been rough go here for the Hornets. 2 points. They've turned it over 3 times. West gets inside. David West done a nice job in this, his first ever NBA playoff appearance.
He impresses you a little bit, Marv, with his poise out there on the floor. He's throwing some nice passes, not afraid to make a move offensively on the inside. Very impressive with this rookie.
Game tied at 54. Odom with a hesitation move. Lamar Odom with 15 points.
You see them really jump on Odom's left hand, trying to force him right. Odom takes advantage of it, gets in the seam.
Miami back up by 2. West passed on the open shot. Wesley for 3. Oh, that's a nice rim. That's the second time that it has taken a favorable hop for the Hornets. 3-pointer by Wesley, and the Hornets up by 1 for David Wesley, his 3rd from downtown. Grant right back, and both clubs are shooting well here in the 3rd.
Ryan Grant is primarily a 17-foot jump shooter for this Miami team. They run pick and rolls with him, they drive and have him kicking out.
McClure blew the stuff. Nice pass from West. And here comes Butler. Offensive foul. That's the 6th offensive foul called on Miami.
Well, you knew that the defensive man was going to be there in time. He's outside the restricted area. It's a matter of making the ball change hands, try and avoid running it through the defensive man's chest the way Butler did.
Hornets take over. They now go with Armstrong and Wesley. West up front, along with Tractor Trailer and Stacey Augman, who just checked back in. Here's Armstrong for 3. Nice touch by Miami.
Jones, Odom vying for it. Ball goes out of bounds off them.
So the Hornets have the new shot clock. Brian Grant will sit down. He'll get a rest. Dennis Haslam checks back in. Miami up by 1. Trailer lost it. Recovered by Armstrong. Armstrong was showing his mobility despite that sprained ankle. Here's West. Back comes Wade. Butler. Odom. Yes.
The transition game that Tim Floyd was so concerned about because Miami can get numbers on you quickly once they get it out off the defensive glass.
Miami 60. New Orleans 57. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. In the third quarter, Marv Albert, Lazar, Mike Fratello, Craig Sager, Wesley attempts the 3. He thought he was fouled. There was no call. He cannot believe it.
I think Wesley went down hoping for a call that time. There certainly was no contact by Eddie Jones. The shot was way out of his hand before he went down.
Rafer Alston getting set. Check back in. Game 1 of the best of 7 of this Eastern Conference. First round series, Wade again. It has been an electrifying performance at the offensive end by the rookie Dwayne Wade. And this crowd here in Miami responds. The Heat with a 62-57 lead. The Hornets take a timeout.
The rookie recognizes that the defense is going underneath, has to stop, pull up, and make these shots.
Back in Miami, it is that time. Here we're at tonight's version of Bud Lights. Idle thoughts from, yes, the mind of Lazar.
Mario, this building brought something to mind. There have only been six, mind you, first-year head coaches in the NBA that have ever led their team to an NBA championship. One of those people, the president and general manager now of this franchise, Pat Riley, did it back in 81-82 with the Los Angeles Lakers. And Stan Van Gundy is a first-time head coach, so who knows?
Really?
That's right.
I was wondering where this was leading.
I thought you were waiting for a quiz, probably.
Well, that's a decent fact. Idle thoughts are beginning to grow on some members of our staff. Jamon Williams has come on for the first time for the Hornets. He's played well in the absence of Darrell Armstrong. He was in the starting lineup a couple of times. Come up with some assist totals, career numbers. Nice move, just did beat the 24. David West with the bucket, and Miami leads 62-59. The Heat on fire here in the third. They've hit 7 of the last 8 shots. Rafer Alston is back as the point guard. Jones lost his balance. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Butler for 3.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
Well, you mentioned the performance by David West. I mean, 17 minutes on the floor, 4 for 5, 8.6 rebounds already for the rookie.
Done a terrific job. First round draft pick out of Xavier of Ohio. As they say that, his pass is intercepted. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Odom looking to set it up against Augman. Alston for 3. Yes! Rafer Alston, who has been so successful from downtown. 49 straight games, hitting at least 1 3-pointer. That's an offensive foul on Jamon Williams.
Alston gives this team energy. More than just one way. He hits the big 3-pointer, gets the crowd going, because everybody in the building knows that he had the string at 48, and then he comes right back at the defensive end of the floor and picks up the offensive foul against Jamon Williams.
48 during the regular season is a new franchise record. And another offensive foul. It's unbelievable. That's 7 on Miami, 4 on New Orleans. Can you recall a similar scenario?
I cannot. I really, it's almost as if there was a small mini class prior to this game given to the officials on offensive fouls.
Jones able to hustle it down. Here's Alston. And he pulls it back. Wants Butler to clear out. Odom played by West. Odom goes right at him. Foul is called as West and Traylor converge on Odom.
Well, you mentioned Rafer Alston knocking down the three-pointer for his 49th consecutive game. He's also made 62 out of 63 games that he's had on it. So it was just a brief spell between when he missed one and got right back again and starting this string out. 62 out of 63 games, he has had at least one three-pointer.
See the longest streaks for three-point shots this season. Rafer by himself in that department. Rafer Alston, originally a second-round pick of Milwaukee, spent 3 years with the Bucks, a year with Toronto, much time in the CBA, the Development League, and has emerged here as a member of the Heat. Nice backdoor pass. Wade is fouled by West.
Marv, I would think that Rafer Alston would get votes in two categories this year. Sixth man, perhaps, and most improved player. That's how well he's played. He has been, really, as far as this franchise goes in Miami, probably the unsung hero, as valuable as any player to this team this season for Miami. And he's a free agent at the end of this year. That'll be a big problem concern.
All right, as Wade shoots his first of two. Let's check in with Ernie Johnson back in Atlanta.
Yeah, Marv, with a quick reminder on the Southwest game break that Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets make their playoff debut against Kevin Garnett and the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 2 of our opening night playoff coverage here on TNT. And by the way, you guys went 2 minutes and 52 seconds at one stretch without saying offensive foul before those two quickies within 11 seconds of each other. Back to you.
Well, the total is now 11 and counting for that department. Baron Davis back on the floor, working the clock down. 4-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Williams, Traylor, 24-second violation. It will not count.
We'll see if they put time back on the game clock right now, and they did. They just put 0.4 of a second back on the game clock.
So 4.2 remaining in this third quarter. Miami up by 7. Tim Floyd making a change. He does not want Baron Davis picking up a 5th. So Darrell Armstrong checks back in. Alston. Can he get one off? Flips it. That was a pretty good effort by Rafer Alston as this third quarter comes to a close. Dwayne Wade with 9 of his 15 here in the third. The Hornets turned it over 8 times in the third quarter. They have 18 on the night. After 3, Miami 66, New Orleans 59. Welcome back to American Airlines Arena in Miami. Capacity crowd better than 19,000 out here for game 1 of this best of 7. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello. And my golly, there he is. Our one-time partner, Steve Kerr, will be along for the second of our TNT doubleheader, working with Dick Stockton. And it's tennis great Boris Becker. Yes, with our Craig Sager.
Do you really miss Steve Kerr?
I don't. Unfortunately, I never met him. I respected him as a player, but I never met him.
Okay, you're a big Heat fan. You've been coming here for 10 years. How do you like this team?
Finally, we had 2 rough years. Finally, we're back to the playoffs, and we have a very young and inspiring team, and it's fun coming here.
All right, Mike Fratello is your neighbor. What's he like?
Well, Mike is always very loud and noisy at night. You know, he never seems to go to sleep. but he's a nice guy, and we had a wonderful night together.
All right, earlier today, one of your favorite players, Dirk Nowitzki, was playing for Dallas. I know you do a talk show back in Germany. Are you rooting for the Dallas Mavs?
I like Dirk a lot. I met him one night here when he came to Miami, but I'm a big Miami Heat fan, I must say.
All right, thanks a lot. And clean up your neighborhood, will you?
I will.
Let's see, Czar. So I got 2 major points out of that interview. He does not care for Steve Kerr, doesn't care that he's here. And you are loud.
He's got the wrong place that he's hearing the noise from. But I'll tell you what, he is a huge Miami Heat fan. He's here the majority of the games, very much so into it.
All right, fourth quarter is underway. Baron Davis back on the floor. Off the fake, fires a 3. And here comes Alston. Wade and Alston in the backcourt. Samaki Walker is up front now with Giannis Haslem and Caron Butler. Haslem is wide open. Rebounded by McGlure. Miami up 66-61. Shammond Williams. And he is fouled. I mentioned earlier that Shammond has played well in the absence of Darrell Armstrong. Started 2 games right at the end of the regular season. Had a career-high 11 assists and a win in Milwaukee last week.
Shammond's a guy who can make an open shot, and they're hoping against Miami's scrambling defense that when they swing the ball, he just might be in the right spot at the right time.
Butler looking for the steal, deflected it out. E.J. Brown is back playing with the 4 fouls. Up front with Paul McGlure and Stacey Augmon. Backcourt of Davis and Williams. Here's Davis. Rebounded by Butler. And here come the Heat, led by Wade to the left hand again. He is so effective at protecting the basketball and taking it to the rim.
He actually hit his head against the stanchion as he continued on after taking the shot, but he has great body control.
7-point Miami lead. Brown is fouled by Haslem.
See the fast break coming at you. He goes to the left hand, Wade, on this one. There's the finish, but then watch him as he continues on head first into the stanchion. Reaches up and grabs on the way back down. Goes, oh, I got a headache here for a second.
P.J. Brown, an 85% free throw shooter, making his first appearance at the line. Miami 68 and New Orleans 63. Wade being played by Williams. Alston from way downtown. That's his second three-pointer. Miami has opened up an 8-point lead, and Alston got involved with Augmon at the other end, and a foul is called on Alston.
Augmon had Alston posted up real quick. Rafer Alston knew he was in trouble, so what he did is he just leaned on him extra heavy, willing to take the foul at that time. That was only foul number 2 on Rafer Alston.
Miami, though, with its 13th foul here, the early going of the 4th. Battle between Wade and Davis over on the right wing. McGlure stripped.
Caron Butler getting that hand in there on the help as he came back in just enough to deflect it away. Miami comes up with the ball.
Odom met on the switch by McGlure. Haslem. And Wade for 3. Foul is called as Odom made contact.
Well, Odom was right. It was incidental, but it was a foul. So he's got to understand. He didn't mean it, but he landed on top of him.
Another productive game for Rafer Alston off the bench. 11 points. He's hit 2 from downtown. They love Rafer in the schoolyards of New York City. Grew up in Queens, known as a playground legend. Played this summer, as he does every summer, in the legendary Rucker League in Harlem. Known for his flashy style. You mentioned earlier, they call him Skip to my Lou with that skip dribble that he likes to utilize. He has kind of put that aside since coming into the NBA. It's not always appreciated by the coaching staff, and this is his 5th NBA season out of Fresno State, where he played for Jerry Tarkanian.
Well, a couple of things have happened here during this season. Stan Van Gundy and the staff have done a great job of being tolerant and patient with him. He has done a great job of maturing as a young man and understanding, if I'm going to make it and stop bouncing from team to team to team, I'm going to listen to what this coaching staff is asking me to do. I'm going to come in and give them what they need. His defense has been superb this year. He's made good decisions with the basketball. He's cut down on his careless turnovers.
Tim Floyd staying with Shammond Williams at the point, matching up with Rafer Alston. Here's a steal by Butler. And Butler is fouled. Hard foul by Augment.
I'll tell you one thing about Caron Butler. That's a tough young man right there. He hit the floor, hit the cameraman, and bounced right up immediately to let Augment know, taking a foul on me is not going to bother me. He does not give up trying to turn the corner. There's the foul. There's the collision. And he's right back up on his feet at the foul line for 2 attempts.
That's the 5th steal of the night for Butler. Rod out of UConn, finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting last year behind Mari Stoudemire and Yao Ming, and he has made it back from arthroscopic knee surgery. Missed the entire preseason, the first 5 games. Took a while for him to get into proper condition, but has played well over the last month.
And he'll be the first to say that it was the teammates and coaching staff that stopped him from giving up, because for a while he doubted that he was going to be able to come back and play and be as athletic as he was at the end of his rookie season. They stayed with him. They believed in him. He stayed after.
Floor getting involved with Alston, and the foul is on Alston.
Well, what's happened here is very typical tonight of what's happened in a lot of games. When Rafer Alston comes on the floor for Miami, they play their best basketball. They have their best stretches of basketball. Sure, their backcourt starts with Wade and Eddie Jones, but oftentimes it was when Rafer Alston came on the floor this season that the chemistry changed on the floor. He's more of a pure point guard than Wade is, and he would get their transition game going. And slowly now, Miami has crept out to a 10-point lead.
McLaurin now 2 out of 4 at the line. Miami is in a penalty with over 8 minutes to play. Hornets have only 1 team foul. Miami with its biggest lead of the night. They're now up by 9. Alston and Wade at the guards. Odom, Butler, and Haslam up front. Here is Butler. A piece of the netting. And a foul on Butler.
That's a bad foul, just because of the reason that you mentioned, that already, with this much time remaining, 8 minutes to go, they are in the bonus situation.
Stan Van Gundy upset about that foul, calling Butler over to him, and now he's sending out Eddie Jones. Well, coming up next here on TNT, it is game 1 between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. And tomorrow night on TNT, it's the Spurs hosting the Grizzlies in game 2 of their series, followed by game 2 between the Rockets and the Lakers. Coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Stan Van Gundy telling us that he did talk with brother Jeff off the 1-point loss to the Lakers in LA last night. Said I couldn't stay up for the game. It was on too late. Watched highlights, and Jeff brought me up to date.
But what was Stan's response when you asked him, was Jeff happy?
Well, Butler has given Miami a 75-65 lead.
Well, you asked if he was happy with the performance, the fact that they played so hard and so well.
Stan said, you know, usually when I talk to Jeff, he's depressed. He wasn't depressed. He said, so that was positive. Another Miami steal. Here comes Wade. Wade extends to a 12-point Miami lead. Hornets get back in a hurry, but good transition defense by the Heat. Davis threw it away, recovered by Wesley. McGlure, oh, look out. McGlure extending his left arm, made contact with Caron Butler. Foul is on Wade. That came after the play, looked to be inadvertent.
As he starts to go up, you'll see him holding the arm down, and as he tries to free himself up, he winds up bringing the left arm up into Caron Butler. There's the attempt to stop the layup. Now he frees that arm up, and then it's like a chain reaction, actually, what takes place. Wade then winds up hitting Caron Butler.
McGlure struggling at the line, and he's a 75% free throw shooter. He's 3 of 6. And the Hornets now 12 for 17 at the foul line. Five minutes gone by in the fourth here in Miami. The Heat with an 11-point advantage. Butler with a nice pass to set it up for Haslem was fouled.
Wesley was not going to let him go up and finish that one off for the dunk, so Wesley fouled him. He may have been fouled by another player at the same time, but it looked like Wesley was the first to get to him and grab that left wrist.
It is Wesley. That's his third.
Marv, give credit where credit's due here. Yes, Baron Davis did turn that ankle once again. We saw that early in the beginning of the game, but remember, Davis was averaging 28 points a game against Miami this season. Right now, at this moment, Baron Davis 2 for 11 points in the game.
And those 2 field goals from 3-point range. He's been hanging in. Playing with the 4 fouls, as is P.J. Brown. Davis with only 1 point in this second half, and 3 more. As he hits from downtown and then hobbles back to the defensive end.
Well, you saw he's the guy that called his team together in the lane before those free throw tests by Miami. Gave him a little pep talk right there, and then he came right out and knocked down a huge shot.
Wade rebounded by Davis. Davis now picked up by Odom. Now wanted to travel and augment. Here's Wesley for 3. Brown with the rebound. Wesley again for 3. Butler able to corral it. Odom had it knocked away. Shot clock at 10. Wade with that hesitation move and throws it away. Plus a foul. Offensive foul, of course. It's on Wade. That's his 4th foul. That's 8 offensive fouls on Miami. A look at downtown here in South Florida. We'll be right back. The 2004 NBA playoffs here on TNT have been brought to you by Wendy's new Chicken Temptations. It's better here. By Radio Shack. You've got questions, they've got answers. By Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai. And by Van Helsing on May 7th. Adventure lives forever. Time now for Fast on Their Feet, presented by Lamisil.
Baron Davis trying to get some dribble penetration, loses his footing there as he stumbles down. The youngster, Dwayne Wade from Miami, certainly has no problem getting his feet up in the air as he finishes it off with an emphatic dunk.
5:47 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Heat with a 77-69 69 lead. This is the way Miami has been going the last couple of months. They won their last 12 here at home. Overall, 5 of the last 6 games, 17 of their last 21. So they're 17-4 since March the 2nd. They were 25-36 at that point. It has been a remarkable run for the Miami Heat. Aldridge with a crossover. Nice play, able to get it down low to McLaurin.
Besides starting off 0-7 twice, Miami hit the point of 11 games under the 500 mark to bounce back and have a winning record of 42-40. You said, Marv, this is typical. It certainly is. They have given up a number of large leads in the fourth quarter and had to either hang on, fight back to get themselves a win.
Well, the Hornets with 6 unanswered points. Butler tried to stuff, but he was rejected. It's down to a 6-point Hornet lead, or rather a Miami lead, with just under 5 remaining in the fourth. Brown's pass broken up.
Haslem not satisfied, standing behind the post-up player. Gamble came around on the top side, deflected it away. Big steal that time for Haslem, hopefully giving Miami an opportunity to get some points back up on the board.
Here's Odom. Shot clock at 1. Davis able to split through. Brown could not finish on the follow.
Well, Miami's the #1 team in preventing points in transition again, and they're #1. They give up less than 10 points a game, 9.9 to be exact, in transition offense for an opponent.
Shot clock at 5. Butler. Well, the Hornets hanging around. They've been down by as many as 12. It's just a 6-point Miami lead.
And again, 18 3-point attempts tonight for New Orleans, and that's why they're so dangerous. To here in a 6-point game, and the threat of the 3-point line is always there.
Shot clock down to 1. Brown got it off. Rebounded by Brown, and here's the 3-point attempt. Yes! Aaron Davis from downtown. So the Hornets are within 3. That's his 4th 3-pointer. Timeout is called by Stan Van Gundy. It's a 20-second timeout. 9 unanswered points by New Orleans, and they have come roaring back.
Well, when Miami went through this early initial stretch in the beginning of the season, they would lose these games. Teams would come back on them, gain the lead, and they didn't understand at that time how to win. Then in the stretch run, you said 17-4 over the last 21 games. They had a better understanding of what it takes to hang on to these types of games. So here they are again. They had themselves an 11, 12-point lead. Suddenly it's back to a 3-point lead.
Well, the Miami bench upset. They felt there should have been a traveling call on Altman.
He definitely shuffled his feet that time before he passed the ball. Here's the man that we said from behind the 3-point line, so dangerous, Baron Davis.
And now a 20-second timeout extended to a full, so we will take a break. Coming up following the Heat and the Hornets game, one of the best of 7, the Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Garnett, one of the leading contenders certainly for MVP honors. Carmelo Anthony will battle it out with LeBron James for Rookie of the Year honors. T-Wolves looking to put an end to 7 straight first-round eliminations. They are the #1 seed in the Western Conference.
Oh, without question, this is the deepest roster that Kevin Garnett has ever had surrounding him. So if there's ever a time, this is the year for them to move on.
Over the last 4 minutes, 9 straight points for New Orleans to get back into it. They've trailed by as many as 12. It's now a 3-point Miami lead. Shot clock at 10. Wade.
Dwayne Wade was shoved that time. As he took off, that time he was shoved by one of the New Orleans players and knocked him off balance.
Miami Miami 77, New Orleans 74. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Wesley rebounded by Odom. Odom spinning and drew the foul on a reach-in. It is on Davis, so that is number 5 on Barron.
You can see Miami wanting to push it up the tempo, get something easy in transition because they're laboring right now against New Orleans' defense.
13th foul on the Hornets. Miami has been over the limit for most of this fourth quarter. Here's Odom for 3. Kept alive by Alston. He fired. Yes. Rafer Alston with a big bucket. Miami leads by 6.
Hustle that time. Hustle. Alston got to the ball before the New Orleans player did. Alston wound up with the shot, hit the jumper.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the fourth. Wesley with the step, and he is fouled by Grant. So Wesley will shoot 2. Number 4 on Grant. Grant has been very quiet. Just 1 field goal. Does have 7 rebounds. Wesley making his first appearance at the line, a 75% free throw shooter. And the Hornets have struggled at the line in the second half. Overall, 13 of 19. Wesley getting the treatment from this crowd. 79-75, Miami.
Lamar Odom has to keep his head right now, Mark. He got into a little altercation at time with McGlure under the basket. He's got to be smart enough not to cost his team a possession right here.
And Odom has been involved in the past during the season with the Hornets. Odom lost it. Taken away by Augment. Lamar trying to go 1-on-2 and lost the ball. Down to 1.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Augment, yes. It's a 2-point Miami lead.
Tracy Augment has been so productive for them. 28 minutes of playing time, 10 points right now, and 4 rebounds for Tracy Augment.
Hornets do have a foul to give. Miami over the limit. 1:10 to go in the fourth. Shot clock down to 2, down to 1. Alston sends up a ring ball. Did not make contact with the rim. It's a shot clock violation. The ball back to the Hornets with 1:02 to go in the fourth. Tim Floyd calls for time. It's Miami 79, New Orleans 77. A comeback effort by the Hornets.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with his Southwest game break. The nightcap of our playoff double-dip. Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets taking on the #1 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves. That comes up after the Miami game, and the Heat grimly hanging on to the lead against the Hornets, guys.
All right, thanks, Ernie. And a man who is quite familiar with playoff pressure, one-time member of the Miami Heat, Tim Hardaway, was sitting courtside. In fact, Caron Butler with 5 steals tied a Heat franchise record for a playoff game, a record that is held by Tim.
Well, word got out around Miami during the season that Tim was in the gym working out. He actually thought about trying to come back and helping a team out this year, then finally at a certain point decided leave well enough alone. He's moved on to the next stage of his life.
Miami led 77-65 with 7 minutes to play. Since then, the Hornets on a 12-2 run, and they are within 2.
Remember, 3 beat you. 3 put you down 1 point. That will open up driving lanes for New Orleans if they're going to take away the 3-point line.
Open shot for Brown. Yes, and the game is tied at 79 We're down to 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. The Heat with only 2 points the last 6.5 minutes. Odom working on Brown. Good job by Brown, and Odom's pass is intercepted by Wesley.
Very, very difficult pass along the baseline through traffic, and it was a long pass, and New Orleans is going to take a timeout. Tim Floyd wants to make sure that they know what they're running here.
That was turnover number 7 for Lamar Odom. Game tied at 79. We'll be right back.
Game tied at 79, 28 seconds remaining. Execution for New Orleans versus Miami's defense. New Orleans knows that Miami is going to double team Baron Davis when he comes off a pick and roll situation. Here, they run the pick and roll. PJ sets the screen. Baron Davis is going to dribble off it, and now the pop move, the pick and pop. When we see PJ step back, they're banking on the fact that the next defender for Miami, who happens to be Brian Grant, can't get to him in time before he shoots the jumper. Grant coming a little bit late. Basket's good.
So it's been a 14-2 run by the Hornets. Miami hitting only one of their last 8 shots. They've turned it over 4 times over that span, and the Hornets have an opportunity to take the lead.
Let's see if Miami changes its pick and roll defense. If I'm thinking right now what Tim Floyd's going to run, I'd say they're going to put it back in Baron Davis's hands and go to the 2-man game once again.
10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Davis played by Alston. Brown comes over to set the pick. Here comes Davis. Davis, shot was deflected short. Brown is on it. And it's a 24-second violation. That initial shot did not hit the rim, so Miami will get it back.
Excellent stretch of defense that time. Tim Floyd thinking that maybe the ball touched the rim and that there should have been a reset. We see it right there as it's deflected. Goes to the corner. That 24-second clock is running.
11 seconds remaining in the fourth. See timeouts remaining. The Hornets have a foul to give. Hornets and Heat tied at 79, and just a moment ago, a 24-second violation called on the Hornets off this shot.
You'll see Lamar Odom go up, just get a piece of the ball with his fingers. It then hits the backboard, and then on the way back down from that angle, it's tough to tell if it hit underneath or not. Again, we'll take a look right there. If anything, does it hit underneath on the way down? That part of it's hard to tell. But first came the block shot by Odom.
So Miami back in possession. At one point, they led by as many as 12. The Hornets with the 14-2 run come from behind. The game is tied at 79. They are on their feet here in Miami as Butler gets set to inbound.
2-man game, Odom, Eddie Jones. That's who Miami normally goes to try and get something going down the stretch. They let the rookie handle Wade out in front, trying to create off the dribble.
Wade putting the move on Davis. Here is Wade. Yes! With 1.3 to go in the fourth quarter. The rookie Dwayne Wade has given Miami a 2-point lead. The Hornets take a timeout. It's a 20-second timeout. Points for Dwayne Wade. Miami appeared to be on the verge of coming up with a resounding victory. They had that 12-point lead, 7 minutes to play. The Hornets getting back into it. And now Miami up by 2 as they hope to wrap up game 1 here at home.
And New Orleans is coming off the bench with Steve Smith, who is a 3-point threat all the time. Baron Davis, David Wesley, also the 3-point threats to try and win the game. Only 1.3 seconds remaining. Steve Smith will be the passer. Caron Butler up on the ball will pressure.
Steve Smith playing for the first time tonight, one-time member of the Miami Heat.
Lamar Odom telling Butler there's one delay a game already. Don't get another one. It's a technical.
All right, here's Smith looking. They have no timeouts remaining. The pass deflected by Butler, and that will wrap it. A dramatic Game 1 victory for the Heat. They defeated the Hornets 81-79. Wade led the way with 21 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, a hobbling Baron Davis. High man for the Hornets with 17. This is Marv Albert with the Czar, Mike Fratello and Craig Sager saying so long from Miami. There'll be post-game reaction throughout the night from our studios in Atlanta. Now let's go to Game 2, Denver and Minnesota. Here's Dick Stockton.